Good morning, everyone. It's Trader Rob. Today is Friday, March 20th. Let's get into the markets here. I had a few signals here this morning at the ES. Actually, I had two signals overnight. One for TP, one loss on the ES. Swept our stop loss by a few points and then went straight to TPs. So 1 for 1 there, and then again had signals here on the ES at the 66.50. I did tell my signal members that we're going to pause that one here for give the market here about 8 to 10 minutes, see what the market wants to do here. We're about two points away from that sweep. It's not the greatest. And then let me just turn off the IB. And then I had another signal here at the 24.538.75. So we'll see here what the market wants to do. I already mapped out where delta seller strength was coming in at, so that's all in red here. And you can see sellers just obviously just pushed through a buyer side here. We'll see how price action develops and see if we need to flip any of this from green to red. Just not just yet though. So we'll give the market here a few minutes. Got another unbalanced volume area for sellers here at the 24.563. I would be targeting the 24.554s with the stop at the 24.571. AP, good morning. Todd, good morning. Nordic Joe, Karen, Rob, Michael, Nick, Joe, Steve, Joel, Chris, good morning to all. Let's try to have a morning here. Not try, let's. Let's take a look at the footprint here. So there is a seller reactionary zone right here at the 24,434. As you can see though, we are still in a green area here, so I want to see if we get a flip here to the downside, which doesn't look like it's going to happen. And we actually got buying strength coming in right here, so this now increases to down here. So we'll see if the sellers can flip this area or not. Tiger Trades, I just saw it right now, so I'll take a look at it after my training's done. Thank you, I appreciate that. Alright, so no flip here just yet. I'd like to see this actually turn red so we can take find hopefully some scalping opportunities here. This area right here is the cleanest that I see right now. Looks like buyers still defending here. So we got this reactionary band from the low yesterday at the 24,331 to the 24,320. Just gonna take a look here at the higher time frame too. Okay, yes, it's got nothing there. All right. See if looks like buyers are going to flip here again, so they still showing their strength here. Again, feel pretty strong about a short right here at the 24,434, but I want to see this turn red here prior to taking that short. Let's see if the sellers can overcome here or not. Obviously, this area down here has been pretty defended pretty well by buyers here. So there's the tap of the zone. Most likely this hits target. There you go. That one proved out to be a really nice area. Let's keep looking at the 120 here. Tiger trades, a lot of people do watch Ninja Trader live or Chart Fanatics live at this time of day. Did you consider partnering with those? No, I think I'm too small time for that. I got a small channel and I'm perfectly happy with that. So as you guys can see, obviously we missed out on that short because we were still in a strong green buying zone. I said that there's a very strong possibility that we obviously still hit TP. In fact, once I saw the reaction, I knew we were going to get hit TP. But you could see how the continued strength just continues on. So as sucky as it might be to have missed that scalp there, it was in an area of buying strength. So just, you know, just trying to increase my odds as best that I can. I appreciate it, Tiger Trades. I don't know. Kind of laughing to myself because I'm thinking to myself, if I was on a show like that and I hit the buy button instead of the sell button, or after a trade randomly hit the buy button again like I did yesterday. That would be so hysterical. That'd be so funny. I know everybody makes mistakes, but that would be pretty funny. At least my mistakes here get only limited to about a couple hundred people. But I guess maybe it shows that I'm human. Alright, so we just tapped into selling strength right here. So we had a nice little reaction right there. So we'll kind of see now. This is kind of the area here for a tug of war with buyers and sellers. So we'll see who wants to. We're obviously in a very big volume area, so they reacted. Sellers came in pretty strong right from the, you know, where the delta is showing me that selling pressure was strong. I like to see the sellers actually start flipping some of these. See if maybe the move is still going to be to the downside for some continued strength. Now, if I take a look, you know, for buyers, we've got like it's kind of an zone. It's not the greatest little spot right there. Actually, it's not terrible. Could be kind of sweepy here down here too, though. Be a little sweepy down here. Most likely we're going to see a pretty decent reaction here at the 24,394. Just not sold yet from buyers very much yet, but it is a pretty decent. Could very easily sweep these lows down here. I think I'm going to stay off of this scalp here, just trying to play the probabilities here. This is in a very sweepy atmosphere. Could obviously be wrong, but just kind of going off of what I constantly see in the markets. Oh, for sure. I'm with you on that, Todd. Let's take a look at the 120 here. All right, let's see if we get the reaction here that I was anticipating. There's the tap. Yay! Good non-trade, Rob. And they go for the sweep. Oh, classic. Classic little buggers. I'm telling you, man, I love invalidations better than I love TPs. When I get a clear invalidation and I have a reason for it and it doesn't work out, I don't know why, but I get more confidence from that than I do from my TPs. I almost feel like my TPs need to hit. All right, still no flipperoonie. Come on. Now I will say this reaction zone down here is going to be a little bit on the tricky side. We are still in green seller strength, even though I know if you look at obviously the higher time frame, we are pretty damn down. But the sellers have their areas where they are in clear control. But the sellers have shown backbone right here, and in the past. So it's kind of a little funky of a spot down here. I would not be against a long here if we get a good setup that appears. Now, I will say something else. They just entered into a pretty big unbalanced volume area here in this gray zone right here. So if we switch down to the 150, be very curious to see if you get a flip here. And you might. Could also work to complete the sweep right here. That's a big possibility there. So I think I'm going to let this one go and see if we do tap into this big volume area right here. See maybe if we get a sweep and a continuation to the upside. Because now we are, if you notice what I've been saying the last couple days, we are kind of in this pattern of big reversal sequence here. Increasing negative delta, it's a classic sign that your move is almost getting to its end. Let's see if they complete their auctions here and see if we can get a flip. And we're still in that unbalanced volume area. It's kind of tricky because there's just so much volume sitting right here. But this closes green. This could be the end of the move, and we could see an upside swing here. I would rather prefer them just to finish off their sweep and then see if we can attack. But we might miss it here. Classic reversal sequence right here, straight with authority, no bugging around, increasing in delta, final big delta push, and then you get your green footprint candle with some good decent either negative flip or you get some really good delta. Those are all classic signs. You can see the delta increasing here. I think if this was in any other location without this being here, I would be long at the close of this footprint candle. Yeah, you can see the negative, you can see the positive delta, how much that increased there. And this could be a protected low down here, so we might not even ever tap into that. This might be the move, bigger move to the upside. It's just one of those areas where it's a little tricky. Yeah, so taking a long there, would have got burnt there. So kind of happy I listened to myself here. This was a so what they're coming for right now is we've got low of day yesterday. Or no, this is actually low of day today and of yesterday. So it's a big spot. Big spot of liquidity here. So you're gonna see probably delta increase in this general vicinity here, depending on how much selling pressure comes in. We obviously have a lot of buying stops right here. See the push there? That was the cleaning of some sweeps there. Where did this guy clean this up a little bit? Now this pattern here, how we kind of did this bottom out here, this to me now kind of does not look so much like a reversal pattern back to the upside, or a strong one at least. It does not look like that to me here. In fact, if this flips red with green delta, this could be a very strong continuation model to the downside from here. But this doesn't look very reversal pattern now to me because of this right here. Yeah, this looks like a continuation to the downside here now. Actually, that didn't end up with positive delta there, so a little tricky of a spot here. I'm just gonna stay patient, see if we can get any flips. I'll take a look at some unbalanced volume areas. We're in a pretty neutral area now here in this black space here. So if I can find a short setup, I'm willing to take it because the buying strength is pretty much still up here. And as of right now, what I see, kind of weird on my chart there, a little weird gap there, but I mean, that's another thing too. You're gonna the longer you start charting out the footprints, the easier oh wow, yeah, this is continuation down here. The easier things, the patterns become more easier to spot as to what the market really wants to do. So right here, to me, this looked like a very classic setup for V shape. But we had a very strong amount of liquidity here, so I knew that there was, just like the scalp, it's the exact same thing on the lower to the higher. It's the exact same thing, so that's why I wouldn't take that long right here. I said, you know, if it wasn't for this here, if it was anywhere else on the chart, I would be looking for a long. But obviously this became very evident. And then when we finally ran those stops, and we didn't see this flip green, this really should have been a continuation flip to the downside. There's just so much pressure that I even said this is a very good continuation play now to the downside. This doesn't look like a V-shape, what do they call it, a V-shape recovery. So that would have been a nice trade there, but I'll be honest, if this was a flip here, more than likely I probably would have taken a short there in hindsight. It's easy to say that, but for me, looked like a pretty clear pattern there. And you know, this is, I guess, a good example of seeing the market pretty clear, but still just not being able to find the right entry into a short here. Just really haven't had the opportunity yet for that. And if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna jump down to the 60-minute. All right, so we've got liquidity, I believe, sitting at the 24. How do we have liquidity there? And this is not right. This switched back to 5 days, you little bastard. Oh, here's the next liquidity. Okay, I knew I had that mapped out. Just wanted to make sure. Let's go back to the 1 minute. This is another big area for them. So I'm just gonna chart this out right here. And this is tricky. So I'm gonna show you guys my dilemma here. So we obviously had a buyer flip right here, okay? So we know that selling pressure has been immense, still with a lot of negative delta. We get finally a green flip here. Yeah, this to me looks more reversal now. Actually, yeah, this to me looks a lot more reversal-y to the upside here now. Clear direction down, increasing volume, and then we get the final flip here. So this could very possibly, I mean, you guys can hear my thing, but as of right now, this looks like it might, I'd like to see a little bit more strength from buyers, but this could be a pivotal part of the market here. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see, so they left some liquidity right there. I don't think they're going to give me the opportunity to come back here. I really don't. But in case they do, this could be a decent scalping opportunity right here. I do like this spot right here. They might never come back down here. I'm going to be honest with you. It's a big possibility. But in case they do, I will be ready here for a scalp. Where'd he go? Should be on. There we go. That's not right. That's not right. I gotta cancel this here really quick. Shit. I click. Alright, now we're on the right group. Kind of a little focus issue there. Alright, let's see if we can. Alright, see if we can get a quick little scalp here. Oh, man. That didn't hit my... Oh, you gotta be kidding me. That's not where I had my stop at. Oh, I had my stop anyways. Okay. Well, they got me there. You little bastard. That looked ripe. I must have had my stop point a point above. You little bastard. Ah, that was dirty. Dirty, dirty, dirty. All right. Let's see here. Get rid of this guy. And that looks so clear to me. I'll take that setup 10 out of 10 times. That's a setup I like. Be right back, guys. Alright, I'm back. Let's see what nothing great here yet. Maybe we are coming down to the 24 206s. Again, just haven't really seen any flips here yet by sellers. I mean, the buyers are trying. They've attempted, they failed here, they failed above us, and you can see them trying right here to kind of find some footing in the market here, but it's a tricky spot right here to trade. Let's see if the ES can give us maybe any clues. Strength there. So they've got selling strength here. Buyers attempt, they don't do a good job. Attempt, they don't do a good job. Buyers stepped up right here, which is pretty similar to where they stepped up for the NQ. Let's see, maybe the ES can give us some better clues here. Nothing, 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 nothing. Okay, so sellers did finally overtake here. Alright, so the ES definitely gives us a bit of a better picture. Now let's see. To my 12 range here. Let's attach that right there. That's better. And obviously the bigger target would be the leg down here. What your bigger target would look like right there, the 6590s. So we got a reaction right there. That's just a sweep. It was right here. a reaction zone right here. Unbalanced volume, I should say. choppy here for the last 25 minutes or so. This is not the initial balance just yet. It's still 925 here, so this doesn't complete until 9:30. So Tiger asks, what happens if you reach the 10K? I celebrate, man. That's at least my monthly, kind of a monthly target that I have. It's a bit short of that last month. Hit about $6 grand, pretty much where I'm sitting at right now. I got 3 of them, Grant. I got one of them going into college this year, and it's looking like it's going to be an expensive one. Yep. He's doing pretty good though. He's taken several payouts from Top Step. He's trading 2 funded Top Steps right now. He's trading what firm did he use? Legends. He started an eval with Legends, and he's currently funded on that one as well. He's in profit on all 3 of his funded accounts. So he's at least defending himself. He's 100% only just using my unbalanced volume strategy. And he uses all resting limit orders. He does not use footprints because he's he mainly trades from school, which is pretty crazy. So exactly how I find my areas, like right here. He just puts resting limit orders with his stop loss TP. I wouldn't say he's making money like crazy, but he's gaining confidence, which I think at that young of an age could be very beneficial. He's got ambition. It's something we don't see a lot. He knows the cost of $1. pays for his own gas, and he goes out to eat with his friends. That's on his dime. So I told him, you gotta figure that part out. I'll figure the big parts out, but you figure out at least the stuff that you need to. Okay, what's happening here? Nothing. All right, so now IB is set at the 24 240s. Let's see if we can do that. There we go. And we'll make that line yellow or orange. Make it dashed. And then let's set the IB high. Alright, so now that's on all my charts there. So I can then take this off. This should be at the 75. All right. Get rid of that. Nothing, 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 nothing. Okay. Okay, we're entering into a pretty strong here. You know, I'm just gonna switch this to yellow, just so we're all on the same page here. I'll put this guy right here. We are now sitting or approaching a very large unbalanced volume area right here. So I will switch over to my 120 footprint once we get into this area here. See if we can get that final leg to the downside here. Sure has. Market's definitely pushing to the downside here. So we got a few targets to the downside. We got the IB low here and a pretty strong level here at the 24,206. J-Lo's been there, done that, my man. I don't even have enough fingers on my hand to count. And then when you see that you're on the NQ and not on the micro, you obviously close out in a hurry. And then typically what you see is price action goes right to where you were anticipating. Just the classic sign. Yeah, Grant, I think the biggest thing is you know, I mean, your son's 5, so I mean, he's got time. But I think, you know, once they get into an age where they start showing some interest in trading, it's important for them, in my opinion, it's important for them to have a little bit of skin in the game. So, you know, let them put some money on the line so they don't start off with that gambling mentality, because it's very easy, even for him. I mean, he's on TikTok and Snapchat and all that, and it's very easy for him to get influenced by you know, the influencers out there that are flaunting the private jets and the cars and the homes. It's very easy to get wrapped up in that as a young trader. But you know, if they pay for their prop firm evaluations and, you know, if they demonstrate some risk management, you know, have them fund it, $500, let them trade on micro. In fact, he found the strategy to be the easiest in gold. So he did really well in gold. That's when he was getting his payouts with Top Step. Then when they kind of they put the halt on gold, he switched over to the NQ shortly. He thought it was a little too noisy. He then went to the ES, and that's what he's been trading. Because I think at you know, if you're at school and you're kind of trading in between classes and you know, study breaks, the ES is a little bit just a little bit slower. Maybe you don't find as many setups on a daily basis. Yes, sir, Tiger. That's exactly what I was just telling Jay Loves. I mean, typically when you notice a mistake, and you see me do it here on live stream. I mean, sometimes you know, a trade doesn't get filled at my TP, and then I see that the market is that I'm still in orders, and I'll frantically go to flatten all positions just for price action to be maybe slightly in profit, back to my entry, whatever the scenario might be. The second you hit the flatten all, skyrockets right back to your TP and then some. So the market has like I always say, the market has a very funny way of balancing itself out. For every mistake you make, bad usually gives you one that's good. Be nice if we could see a little bit of volatility here in the markets now. This is tough to this is kind of tough to find anything. Yeah, we are kind of rangy. Maybe not a true one-to-one here, but there's some unbalanced volume sitting right here. I feel like I can almost remove this green band here. I mean, this has been all balanced out regardless, so I think I might just go into a more neutral stance here. Does look sweepy here too. Kind of have to look out for that. Now, this might be a good spot for a footprint confirmation on the 30 here, guys. I'm a little nervous on this on that sweep right here. Because to me, the market, I mean, if I put the poll out today for IB high or low, we got that right yesterday. To me, the low is definitely in play. I would hate for this to be the liquidity that they need to finish out auctions down here. But if I get a 30 footprint somewhere in here confirmation, then I'm willing to take that. Let's see. Market might have some other ideas. 30 range now. So I got the 60 range there on the right hand side for you guys, and the 30 range on this on our main chart right here. Alright, there's the crossover there. No flip yet. Looking at the 60 range. 60 might give it to us. Ah. Sorry. Yeah, that's probably confusing. Ooh, it's a strong continuation to the downside there. Nothing yet. I'm gonna take a long here. Let's see if we get a push here to the upside off of this flip right here. Reduce my risk down to about 6 points here. Nice. Nicely done. 15 points right there. Nice trade, nice trade. And let's just see if there's anything here on the bigger time frame that looks interesting. There's not. Nope. Beauty trade right there. Nice setup there. So if you guys saw that on, I was waiting for the 60 or the 30. I thought the 60 might give it to us right here, but once I saw this continuation trade, which is my green footprint, negative delta, took it right there. Started off with a 15-point stop, which is usually what I use on my IB trades, and then once we had a push up here, just reduced the risk down to the bottom of that footprint candle. So I think it was about 6 points to make 15. So nice trade. Anybody else make some money on that IB trade there? Thought that was a nice one. I'll be right back. got a quick bite to eat and missed. That worked out really nicely. And I was scared of the sweep. Come on, man. Dang. Good job, Rob. I'm always on Central Time, J-Loves. Those of you that like the retest of the IB, that was a good trade right there. Let's see how that plays out. Only thing is that there is some liquidity sitting right down here, right here at this low. Because that was a pretty big move to the upside. Yeah, I could see the scalp along there. Well, that would have got you your 15 points already. Let's look at the bigger picture here a little bit. In there, great. Get rid of this guy. He served his purpose already. If you're in a long right now, it's kind of sketchy right here. Buyers trying. Buyers trying to overcome the selling pressure right here. Sellers did a good job of stopping buying pressure right here. There's actually a lot of liquidity sitting right here. This could very easily be a very good target for them. So Grant, that means that it's an area that, for instance, let's see if we can find one here. I don't think we've had one on the 120 in a while. So if I go down to the 60, right here, it's a great indication that, you know, you've got obvious buying pressure coming up in the market. And you can see that delta was still increasing on this footprint right here on this 60 range, which is equivalent to 15 points or 60 ticks. And you can tell that buying pressure was still strong on this candle, but the candle still closed red, which means that the sellers absorbed all of that buying pressure and was still able to close that red. So the higher you go on the time frame, so if my high time frame is the 120, when you see those 120 flips, that's what's changing my red and green bands that you see up here, okay? And it's a very good indication of who is in immediate control. And then, you know, obviously there's continuation plays where you start going in the same direction, then you get red footprint with positive delta. That's just another indication that it's continuation pressure to the downside. And that was a good flip right there, actually. That looks like a decent long right here, to be honest with you. kind of strange to me that they would leave this all alone right now, but could be the case. But you see, that's a great indication, what I was just talking about. Actually, it's kind of what I was looking for. It would have been nice if they would have tapped into here. If you got a green footprint candle with negative delta, that's usually a strong indication that we are going to the upside there. All right, guys, I think I'm going to call it a morning here. I'm going to go hopefully enjoy the sun here a little bit. And a decent day of trading. Really like that IB trade that I took there. That was a nice one. So I'll leave you guys with something here to think about. You are coming into a pretty large unbalanced volume area from the 24,338 to the 24,371. So it wouldn't surprise me at all for the market to have now absorbed and to dump off here, and then obviously another reaction to the downside in this general area right here. Again, the 120 footprint in this large volume area is going to be your best friend. So that's what I got for you guys today. Super positive week of trading here. I think the actual only negative day I had, if I recall correctly, was Wednesday, which is unfortunately my profit Wednesday. But overall, just pretty happy with the trades this week, and looking forward to the weekend. Hope you guys have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Monday I'm giving away a lucid eval, and on Wednesday I'm giving out a lucid eval, and then next Friday will be my Cash Profit Friday. 5% of my session profits given away as well. So have a fantastic weekend. Been having a lot of fun with you guys. If you guys don't mind, please hit the like on the stream. It's the only thing I ask for. There's a new button there that says hype the video. I don't really know what it does, but it says it gives me a little bit more awareness to my channel. If you guys can figure out what it means, if anybody can give me some help on that, I'd appreciate it. And if you're thinking about any of the prop firms that I have listed there on the banner, just use code TraderRob. Appreciate it again. Thanks everybody. That was a nice little that could have been the trade right there. I mean, it's like 45 points now in the money, so a little bit of a bummer, but that's okay. All right, take care everybody. Thanks, Jilla, for that info.